Seattle has a pretty unique rowing community in that there are so many boathouses, so densely packed together. Just on Lake Union, I think there's something like 5 or 6 boathouses right on just that relatively small lake. And then of course we've got, ourselves down here at the south end of Lake Washington and Kenmore up at the north end. So there's just, for one thing, there's just a ton of boathouses around. And so you encounter a lot of people who have rowed at multiple places or have coached at different places. And you kind of, there's so many people around here who row, and yet it's such a small world because you run into the same people all the time.
Rowing has been, obviously, since I was in high school, been a big part of my life. And what I've really found interesting from it is it's opened a lot of doors in my life that I wouldn't have thought a sport in high school could have. And in terms of the outreach, we really tried to make what Kent says, our board chair, he has a really good way of saying it, is we want to make Renton Rowing Center look like Renton.
We've gotten faster and we've gotten more diverse and we've grown, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that not only have we always found a way to get people on the water, even if they didn't have the financial means to pay the same amount as everybody else, but also that we've invested really heavily in the people who are here. It's important to make people feel like their contributions are seen and appreciated. And sometimes the way to do that is just money, but I think there's a lot of other ways to do that as well. And I think that's something that we've done really well here, and everybody understands why it's important to invest so much time and so much care into a place like the Renton Rowing Center, so that it can have a bright future and so that it can be an even better place for the next rower who comes through the door.
Well, what got me into the sport was the fact that I couldn't do a couple of things that I had been doing previously. My primary sport up to starting this was flying paragliders, and I had some knee problems which were getting increasingly difficult for the launches and landings on that. I found I could do the rowing machine at the gym well, so I thought I would try something that got me outside, so I signed up for the Learn to Row class.
Our first youth athlete go to nationals last year, Izzy, in the single, and that was a huge moment for Renton. First athlete going to nationals. And this most recent summer, we had our first team boat, Kai and Jackson, go in the pair. And that was really special because our first team boat, first sweep boat, first guys going to nationals, and so we're on like the upward trajectory now. We're saying like, yeah, we got to send 4 people this year.
You have to be engaged and concentrate to be able to do it. You have to be, particularly when you're just starting out, because it's not an ingrained procedure or motion. The muscle memory, particularly when I was really starting out, wasn't there, and I had to think about everything that I did. So, and I still have to think about everything that I do. When I lose focus, things deteriorate rapidly. So I think it does help maintain the mental sharpness, without a doubt.
I always think we can do better, right? There's always going to be one more kid or one more adult who could have their life transformed through rowing.
If you can continue to learn new things, and as long as you're challenging yourself, I think that really keeps you young.
Rowing is a very simple sport at the end of the day, right? Whoever crosses the finish line first is the winner. And usually you know when it's happening if you're winning or losing. And so you all kind of share that experience together, right? And it's difficult to identify. If you do lose, it's difficult to identify if one singular person was the weak link. It's more of an idea that you as a crew collectively fail or succeed together.
The more that you move as you get older, the more you're going to be able to move. And so I would much rather wear out than rust out.